and welcome. I am Tova and I'm going to be doing a video series all about my card play process. And this is really the foundational pieces of it that I think are really important to have as a foundation to kind of understand more about the processes that basically the entire, card play ecosystem like really rest on. And I've done this talk a few times now. And I really want to just have it in one place so that folks who haven't been able to connect with me in those spaces can access it. Hopefully, it helps you understand some of the other activities on my YouTube channel. So just a lot of reasons why I want to just kind of have this available. So card play is basically a drama therapy informed approach to metaphor, play, and intuitive insight. So I'm going to try to have each of these videos to be like about 10 minutes. So they're also in like really manageable chunks. You don't need to like sit there and watch an hour plus video. So this is basically going to be the same type of talk that I usually give about kind of foundations of card play, but of course modified because I'm not giving it in a group space. So that's going to affect a couple, activities that I do. So just to start off, who I am, I have a master's in counseling psychology with a concentration in drama therapy. I have a very strong improv background, and as you're going to see as I go through card play, improv plays a very prominent role into how I think about using imagery and various prompts. I am a provisional registered drama therapist, a registered associate marriage and family therapist. I also have a few other degrees. I have an MBA, bachelor's in biochemistry and molecular biology, and a certificate in integrative nutrition. So very holistic, as you can see. I do have a very holistic and nonlinear approach and perspective on wellness and well-being ultimately. I've also created a few tools and resources around that. I have my whole health card deck, which is available on Etsy. I have an entangled transformative weight loss workbook, which is available paperback on Amazon, digital on Etsy, and then my Pocket Portals micro journaling series, similarly paperback on Amazon and digital PDF download on Etsy. So ultimately, the overarching journey that this presentation takes is to kind of really dive deep into the core creative processes that inform card play, which are largely drama therapy, improv, and collage. Talk a little bit about why imagery can be particularly useful. Talk about different types of tools or props that you could use or incorporate, and then kind of sprinkle in some practice and play throughout the process, and then of course talk about integration and next steps, and just a spoiler, largely expanding this into role-playing games in various ways. So when I do this talk, I really like to start with an experiential demonstration, and it's going to be a little bit different because I'm not doing this in a group. But I'll just kind of talk through it, and you can certainly try it your own self. Let's see. Here we go. So I start with the same image in a group in this talk. And it's this image. And this is a very brief, reflective process that I think really gets at the heart of this approach. So in a live group, we're all looking at the same image. We each have unique responses to it. And so this is the structure that I usually do that in. So, and you can like I said, you can follow along. So the first part is to just kind of let the image sink into your awareness, kind of sit with it for a minute, and notice your first intuitive reaction or response to it. So just like a word or a phrase, a feeling, a color, maybe that you just kind of pick up on your first like intuitive reaction, not figuring anything out, but just kind of noticing. And you can go ahead and write that down. You can sit with it. If it was in a group on Zoom, I have people put that into the chat, and so we can see different people's responses and how they are similar and different. So that's the first part of this. And then the next part is to consider, if the image mirrors something in your life right now. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So kind of just holding that idea with curiosity is like, how might it be mirroring in something in your life right now? And then an optional invitation is that if it had an invitation or a nudge for you today, what might that be? And there's a meta process with those last two questions, right? Is that we are the ones, you are the one who gets to decide, first of all, if there is meaning, right? So that last part is if this image had an invitation or a nudge, right? Not it does, but if it did, what would it be, right? There's two parts. So you could say, no, there is no meaning or nudge for me in this image. Or maybe there is, and you can still decide not to listen to it, not to pay attention, right? So ultimately, when we're going through CardPlay, and I'm going to talk about this probably in another video in more detail, is that there's some empowerment in that discernment, in choosing what resonates with us and what doesn't. And so why I like to start here is that this is the type of exploration that I'm going to be expanding on. Very intuitive, thinking symbolically, relating things to our personal experiences, and noticing, and this is much more prevalent in a group experience, is that the same image can evoke different reactions and different responses in different people, and even in each of us in different moments. It's very fluid, it's very personal, and that's really kind of the magic of this work. So that's kind of the spirit that we are entering into, one of curiosity, openness, play, and just being attuned to any meaning that arises or does not arise. I was going to say something else. What was I going to? Oh, yeah. Right. So with that image. So I use that. I really like that image for various reasons. But, just yesterday I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of the Thinker statue by Rodin. And I Googled the Rodin Thinker statue, and it's very similar posture. So, even kind of working with the same image over time, different experiences, different memories, different associations can come up even for the same person over time. That's actually a resonance, and I'm going to talk about those in a subsequent video.